Hello and welcome everybody to the early access event here for Strixhaven. I am Paul Cheon and we are hopping into a draft. Now we did a sealed deck here and this is probably going to be my last video or only other video here for the early access event because of course I will be out of commission. I had a handful of time here. Excuse me. Okay. As we will be heading over to a baseball game today. We got Shohei Ohtani pitching. Hopefully he pitches a gem here and we completely blow out the New York Mets. But I'm excited. We did do a nice seal deck. We got to really showcase the power of the Quandrix school. We had like 3 or 4 great rares for the deck and it was really fun. So but I did lose to a really sweet blue-red spells deck, so that's what I'm going to be keeping my eye on. But of course it'll completely depend on the rares that we open. Now before we hop into this draft, I did want to say that this video is brought to you by TCGplayer.com. Go to TCGplayer.com for all your Magic the Gathering singles and sealed product needs. Whether you want to buy some booster boxes of Strixhaven or you want some singles for your standard, modern, Pioneer, or Commander decks, check out TCGplayer.com and make sure you hit that affiliate link in the description below before making any purchases. Also, go to HeavyPlay.com for premium Magic the Gathering supplies and accessories. They are your one-stop shop for top-of-the-line deck boxes, playmats, sleeves, dice boxes, life pads, and much more. Go to HeavyPlay.com/paulcheon to get 10% off your first order. Also, shout out to Wizards of the Coast, of course, for giving me the opportunity to share this early access experience with all of you. Alrighty, we are kicking things off here. What do we open? Remember, I don't know all the cards, so I'll try my best. Exhibition Tidecaller, 1 mana O2 Opus. When you cast an instant or sorcery spell, target player mills 3 cards. If 5 or more mana was spent to cast that spell, that player mills 10 cards instead. Probably not the type of card that you want to be playing. Stargaze, look at the top twice, X cards, put X cards from among them, and the rest of your library, you lose X life. Sure, that's a good way to draw cards. Topiary Lecturer, we saw this in the previous draft. Snooping Page, 3 mana for 2/3 repartee. When you cast an instant or sorcery spell, creature can't be blocked. When this creature deals combat damage, draw a card and lose a life. Sanar, Unfinished Genius, 2 mana for an 0/4, enters prepared, create a tap, make a treasure token, cast only if you cast an instant or sorcery spell this turn, and then Wild Idea, 5 mana sorcery, once this is prepared, search your library for an instant or sorcery card, reveal it, and put it into your hand, then shuffle. This card looks really nice. It's just a great blocker, makes you treasures, and then gets you spells in the late game. I want to try that. At common, the card that really stands out to me is, of course, Last Gasp, which is a reprint, a really good removal spell, and honestly, very likely to be the pick, because it's a monocolored card. Then we could have followed that up with Pox Plague, but I really wanted to draft the blue-red spells deck, and we're not really trying to win here nearly as much as trying out all the available archetypes. All right, what do we have? Pox Plague, not going to play it, 5 black. Stand up for yourself, destroy target creature with power 3 or greater. Very solid removal spell. Murmuring Mystic, 4 mana for a 1/5. When you cast an instant or sorcery, you make a 1/1 blue bird flyer. Yes. I mean, especially after for Sanar, like the blue-red deck's looking to cast a bunch of spells. Feed the Swarm is a solid removal spell, 2 mana to kill a creature enchantment, but I lose life equal to that permanent's mana value. Charging Strife Knight is also really solid. 3 mana, like this card's really good. 3 mana for 3/3 haster, tap Rummage. So you get to instantly Rummage, but it's also just a really solid body as well, like a 3 mana 3/3. But I like the inevitability from the Murmuring Mystic, so I'm going to take that here. Landscape Painter is a fine playable card, and Witherbloom Charm is solid here as well, but I want to start with Sanar into Murmuring Mystic and then just take a bunch of spells. Can you blame me for wanting to do this? Come on now. All right. Orisa Tide Choreographer, 5 mana for a 2/2. Cost 3 less if creatures you control have total toughness 10 or greater. When it enters, draw 2 cards. I mean, I got an 0/4 and a 1/5. But I have to wait till that. Okay, Scheming Silver Tongue. It's probably not good. 2 mana for a 1/3 flying lifelink. If you gain 2 or more life, this becomes prepared, and then you can sign in blood. That seems really good, actually. Old Growth Educator, 4 mana for 4 Vigilant Reach. Gain life, it gets 2 counters. Landscape Painter, too early for that. This is a 5 mana, deal 6 damage spell. Don't really care about that. 5 mana for a 2/2 that draws 2 cards. How good is that? It's like a Ground Drifter. All right, I'm going to take Ground Drifter. Like, there's a bunch of good cards here. And honestly, Scheming Silver Tongue could be the pick there. Just from a pure power perspective. But I'm I want to be blue-red. And look, we got a Vibrant Outburst, right? This card is incredible. 3 mana for an instant speed lightning bolt that can also tap something. But look at all these other cards. Joined Researchers, 2 mana for 2/2 First Striker. Oh, this is more of a commander card. 2 mana for 2/2 First Striker is fine, but once you're prepared, both players draw 3 cards. Comforting Council. If you gain a bunch of life, this becomes a Mega Anthem, which is pretty cool. Emil, Vastlands of Roamer. 3 mana for 3/3. Creatures you control with counters on them have trample. 5 mana, tap, make an O green fractal token, where X is the number of differently named lands you control. So oftentimes you make a 2/2, maybe a 3/3. Another copy of Snooping Page. But I'm going to take the Vibrant Outburst. Yeah, this is good. This is good. This is a good start. All right, what do we have? I want some good, like cheap removal like that. Archaic Agony. 5 mana, Converge. Deal X damage to target creature where X is the number of mana spent to cast a spell. Exile cards from the top of your library equal to the excess damage dealt to that creature. You may play those cards. Okay, Bulk Up. That I don't want. Uses Encouragement. 5 mana for a 3/3 Flash Flyer, Surveil 2. Seize the Spoils. Sorcery Speed, discard a card, draw 2 cards, and then make a treasure token. That's interesting, and there's a good bite effect. Huh. This doesn't seem very good to me. It kills like very tiny things. All right, let's take a Seize the Spoils as just like a way to get card flow going and make treasures. But I don't know how good this card is. It seems okay. It's a little bit slow. All right, Mind Over Matter. Blue-green X. Draw X cards, then you may put a permanent card with mana value X or less from your hand on... Look, you had me at draw X cards, all right? You don't need to push any further. You had me at draw X cards. Wander Off, 4 mana, exile target creature. Also pretty good. Good removal spell. But you know what? Maybe we can be Teamer, right? Like blue-red. This is... Mind Over Matter is exactly the type of card that you can splash, and we did pick up Seize the Spoils. All right, what do we have? Homesickness, 6 mana, target player draws 2 cards. Tap up to 2 target creatures, put a stun counter on each of them. Okay. Dual Tactics, 1 mana, deal 1 damage to target creature can't block with Flashback. Okay. Zimone's Experiment. Okay, that's a green card. Lorecaster, 6 mana, get something back. Well, I want to try this card. I know that, like, my deck's going to be really expensive, but this is a nice, you know, for 6 mana at instant speed to, like, lock down their 2 things and then draw 2 cards. Seems decent. So, you know, we're not going to run out of things to do in terms of drawing cards, which is nice, but it definitely feels like this archetype might not be super duper open. We'll see. Shattered Acolyte, pull from the grave is a way to get things back from the graveyard. Efflorescence is a trick. Okay, this pack is not great for us at all. All right, I guess I'll take a Fractal Mascot, but we are not looking to play that one. All right, well, I mean, this has got to be an indication that, like, black is probably open. So I'm going to take Last Gasp over Embrace the Paradox. This is just a really good removal spell. It's a little bit hard to, like, shift gears entirely, so we'll see what happens. But, I mean, we also tabled Feed the Swarm. Burrow Banemaker is also good. 1 mana for a 1/1 Death Toucher, and then it gets +1/+1 until end of turn. That's also really nice, but... I mean, being able, like, Feed the Swarm isn't the best, but it still kills something. And so if we get good mana fixing, or we might need to, like, shift over into some kind of black deck here instead. Old Growth Educator. When this enters, put 2 counters if you gain life. And then there's Melancholic Poet. Actually, I'll take the Educator. I don't know. It's an uncommon. Let's take it. Wow, black is just... Nobody's black. Granted, these cards aren't very good. I'll take this Combat Trick, I suppose. And Archaic's Agony. Okay, so this is a very odd draft. I wanted to be doing the blue-red stuff, but that kind of died out. Looks like a lot of people are trying to do that, so we'll see. Steal the Show. Target player discards any number of cards and draws that many cards, or deals damage equal to the number of instants and sorcery cards in your graveyard to target creature or planeswalker. So if you have a lot of spells, this can be good. There's Deduce. Draw a card, Investigate, so that's just a good value card. What does Explosive Fire Dancer do? It gets +1/+1 until end of turn. What does Elemental Mascot do? Oh, that's a pretty cool one. What about you? This just this deals damage to the opponent, so I don't really care about that very much. So I'm gonna take Steal the Show just because it's a rare. Elemental Mascot seems pretty cool. It blocks really well. and you can use it as a value engine in the late game. But I'm gonna play Steal the Show here. All right, pack 2, pick 2. What do we have? There's Monstrous Rage, another Thunderdrum Soloist. Yeah, the problem, like I said, is this doesn't deal damage to creatures, and I've never been a fan of effects like this, where it just pings the opponent. There is a Stadium Tidal Mage, which is a creature I do like. All right, we'll take the Stadium. 4 mana for a 4/4 that loots when it enters a battlefield and loots when it attacks. So, perfectly fine top-end card here. I mean, I would still like to be blue-red here if possible. All right, what do we have? Another Homesickness. I don't think I want another 6-drop. What does Mika, Reader of Runes, do? 4 mana for 4/4 ward. When you cast an instant or sorcery spell, you may sack an artifact. If you do, copy that spell. How do I sack artifacts? Treasures, I guess? There's Living End. That's not really a thing. Procrastinate. Tap target creature. Nope. 5 mana, 5/4/5 reach haste. Stirring Honormancer is quite good. I guess I'll take Mika and figure out if there's a way for me to put artifacts into play. All right, so nobody's black-white. Like, the amount of just, like, amazing... Like, the problem is... The Conciliator's Duelist is amazing, okay? First of all. 4 mana for 4/3 ETB, draw a card, each player loses life. When you cast an instant or sorcery spell that targets a creature, exile up to 1 target creature. You can target itself. So you can use that to draw cards. But not something that I want here. I'm just going to take a quick study here. And just kind of look, like, just see what it looks like when we put together a blue-red spells deck. You know what I mean? All right. Moving on here, we have Tackle Artist. It gets counters, okay? Visionary Dance is great, but I want to take the Harmonized Trio. This card was very, very impressive when I played it previously. And it's a really, really sweet wear. But a rare... And Visionary Dance is good, but I already have, like, several... Like, 5-drop... Like, look at my curve, right? My curve is already quite high, so I would rather just take the 1-drop here. Noting that it does require more creatures, so I do need to make that adjustment here as well. All right, what is this? Duty Beyond Death. Not something I'm interested in. Artistic Prowess. 5 mana sorcery. Choose 1. Deal 6 damage to a creature, 2 damage to each creature, or a 3/3 blue haste elemental flyer. So let's go ahead and take that. I do need ways to, like, ramp out these spells, I will say. And I'm not picking up any good, like, mana fixing, which I need for the Mind into Matter. All right, so Paradox Surveyor is okay, not that great on the splash. Living History, 2 mana for make a 2/2 enchantment. Whenever you attack, if a card left your graveyard, target attacking creature gets +2/+0 until end of turn. I don't think the blue-red deck does that very well. Let's just take another Seize the Spoils for mana fixing. Also, it makes a treasure for Mika. I don't know how important that's going to be. Chase Inspiration saves my creatures. Pulling the Wig as an additional cost to cast the spell, sack a creature, add a bunch of mana. I don't care about that. All right, let's just take this hexproof spell. All right, the Elemental Mascot Table. That's an excellent sign. Do I want that or Deduce, though? Deduce is just really good. But I have, like, Quick Study and 2 Seize the Spoils. I think I just want, like, a solid body here. Like, I don't even have a 3-mana creature. Like, I want a solid body to just, like, block things. Monstrous Rage or Red-White land. I guess I'll take Monstrous Rage. This certainly doesn't feel like a Monstrous Rage deck, though. Yeah, our curve is, like, super-duper awkward, I will say. Taking random creatures here. I guess I'll take this Fractal spell. Because I really do want to splash this Mind over Matter if possible. Or Mind into Matter. But of course, it requires us to have green fixing. Alright, moving on. Ambitious Augmenter. 1 mana for 1/1 with Increment. When this creature dies, if it had 1 or more counters on it, create a Fractal token. Put this counter's creatures on that token. Okay. At this point, I'm just going to look at, like, spells I can cast. So let's look at Flow State. Let's take a look at our instants and sorceries. 3 instants and 5 sorceries. You know what? I should just try it. There's like Run Behind as well, but I'm going to try like a cheap spell in Flow State and see if we can actually live the dream. And if we don't, it'll still be totally fine. Sleight of Hand, Bulk Up, Choreograph Sparks, copy target instant or sorcery, copy target creature spell you control. Nah. Heated Argument is fine, but Prismari Charm, I probably don't even have to read this. 1 damage to each of up to one or two targets. Bounce target permanent or surveil to draw a card. Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah, Harmonized Trio is looking not great here, I will say. Like, so far, I've just been taking spells. I need spells that also act as creatures. So I guess that's where, like, the 5 mana... Okay, well, I'm going to take this card. Prismari the Inspiration. 7 mana for a 7/7 Flying Ward, pay 5. Instants and sorcery spells you cast have Storm. Well, look. I mean, based on my curve, everything is telling me to take the Charging Strife Knight. A solid 3-drop that gives you card quality, right? Blocks. But am I really going to pass the Prismari Mythic Dragon? No. No. No shot. All right, moving on. We have Landscape Painter, Strife Scholar, 3 mana for 3/2, enters prepared, 6 mana, make 2 2/2s. Actually, totally fine. I might just take the blue-red land. What do you do? Transcendent Archaic, Converge, draw X cards. It's another set. I just took a 7-drop. I gotta respect my mana base. Okay? We're in the business of respecting our mana base. All right, Mage Tower Referee. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 multicolored spells. I have like no 2-drops, so I think I'm gonna take this, even though I don't really care too much for it. All right, moving on to pack 3, pick 6. There is a Muse's Encouragement, which I think I will take. There is a Zealous Lorecaster, which is value, but I think I'd rather just take the cheaper creature here in the Muse's Encouragement. Blazing Fire Singer. 3 mana for a 2/3, and then I can Seething Song later. That's fun. There's Wander Off on the splash. I mean, look at this. Like, this is just a really strange draft. There's like at least like one other blue-red drafter. A second copy of Homesickness. All right, you know what? I need a 3-drop. Let's take the Seething Song creature. Sure, why not? Land 3 tap, target creature becomes prepared. Do I have things that care about being prepared? I guess I'll take it. You're kind of free rolling this, right? It's in a land. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Now, I wasn't able to pick a mana fixing for Mind into Matter, so I don't think I can play it. And yeah, I'm sure for some of you who've watched a lot of other content creators, you're probably thinking to yourself, man, I could have probably like ended up with a sick blah, blah, blah deck. I could care less. Right? It's my first draft. I wanted to draft a certain archetype. It wasn't particularly open, but you know what? We're going to play with it. We're going to have fun, and it'll be great. You know what I mean? That's the approach you need to take. The try-hard pants, we put those on as we prepare for the Pro Tour once the set actually gets released. So yeah, I mean, black was certainly open there. There's some cards here that I can consider. I could splash green, but I think I want to try to just keep it in 2 colors here if possible. I think I have enough stuff probably. I don't care about the hexproof. I don't care about protecting my creatures, so I think this is probably just my deck here. I'm just playing literally every single creature I can, which is 12. Our curve is awful, 3.6. But we do have some decent top end. I'm playing this random reach haste creature. And yeah, like I said, this is certainly not the ideal version of a blue-red deck. That my opponent who had the seal deck, their deck is better than this deck, okay? But you know what? We're going to give it a whirl. I'm playing all my blue-red cards. Let's see how this plays out. All right. Now, before round 1 starts, I wanted to say that if you've been enjoying this content and wanted to support the channel in another way, my Patreon is the best way to do so. That's patreon.com/paulcheon. Big shout out to all the patrons. A lot of different benefits depending on the tier. I post monthly videos. I do monthly streams. So if you want to join a great group of folks and want to take your game to the next level, check it out. All right. Going to keep this here 3 lands, Harmonized Trio, Elemental Mascot, Steal the Show, and Tackle Artist. I mean, this person could literally have been in my draft, and look, they're leading with a blue-red land, so there we are. Oh no, they're wait, never mind. What the hell? Izzet. 2 mana, 2/2. When you cast an instant or sorcery, you may tap 3 creatures. If you do, copy it. Okay. Let us play Elemental Mascot. Yes. 3 mana, 1/4 Flying Vigilance with upside. It's hard for this card to just be like terrible. You know what I mean? Like it might not be like great, but obviously like if you can ever just get to that late game and just start casting big things, like it can generate you value. So it does look pretty desirable if you want to do the blue-red thing. Two mana, 2/1 Flying Haste. Discard a card. This gets lifelink until end of turn. Whenever one or more cards leave your graveyard, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. Interesting. Well, I certainly don't want to miss land drops. Let's go seize the spoils. Let's discard. Whenever you cast an instant, put a counter on this creature. I mean, the thing is, I'm likely to find the mana to play this thing, right? Because I make a treasure. Let's discard Tackle Artist. Also, playing a 5-drop is better, so that I get value off of the Elemental Mascot, right? I guess there's always a chance they play another 1-toughness creature, so I'll keep up the Prismari Charm. And then, like, end of turn here, if I really need it, I can just fire it off to, like, you know, deal 1 damage here and 1 to their face if I need. And then I have 1 spell in my yard, so Steal the Show can get to 2 spells in the yard. Like I said, this deck doesn't really utilize Harmonized Trio that well, but it kind of like demands an answer, right? Pursue the Past. What does this do? You may gain 2 life. You may discard a card. If you do, draw 2 cards. Huh? What do they discard? Molten Note. 8 mana flashback. Deals damage to target creature equal to the amount of mana spent to cast a spell. Wow. This card's amazing. It's like it kills something. So for 2 mana, it just deals 2 damage, and then you flash it back and it kills another thing. That's really good. All right, so now we can play Roaring Embermare. Wait. Oh, it's off of spells. Derp. Okay. Yeah, that was not ideal. Do I want Brainstorm or do I want to hit for 5? I think I want Brainstorm. Like, there's a lot of good things to kill here. If they kill my Harmonized Trio this turn, it's not that bad, right? Like, then I can start attacking. But I want them to, like, at least feel like they need to use a removal spell on the trio. Now, I have a Steal the Show, which can, let's see, deals damage equal to the number of instant and sorcery cards. Wait, how does this... I always forget. Like, does it count itself? Like, when I cast this, is it for 1 damage? Okay, let's Brainstorm. Put these 2 back. Oh, this is great. By the way, we hit Flow State, which is pretty cool. I have 2 spells in the graveyard. Put those 2 into our hand. Play the land. Yeah, so I don't actually know. Should I do it to find out, or do I wait? No, I'm gonna just wait. I'm just gonna play the Mage Tower Referee. Attack. Pass. This way I can prepare this again and just cast another Brainstorm. And then for like a tempo play, I can just like Homesickness and tap 2 things. Wow, they're 4 colors? Wizards of the Coast employees are very ambitious. That is a very good card. Oh, they can copy it. Wow. Yep. All right, so the nice thing is we can still cast this Brainstorm. But they are able to kill 2 things this turn, which is quite good. All right, what do I want to kill? If anything. Yeah, I think I want to play Stadium Title Mage here and cast Steal the Show. Let's loot. And then at this point, Steal the Shoe should be, let's see, 1, 2, 3. It's for 3. Yeah, so I'm going to play it safe here and kill the Honor-Bound Mage, and then just see what happens. Oh, it says 3, okay. Or maybe, actually, do I care about this thing? Maybe I just kill this. Yeah, let's just kill this. Alright, our opponent's at 4 life, and next turn we can just, like, cast Homelessness. Homelessness! Sorry, I live in Los Angeles. We have a homeless problem. Homelessness. 6 mana, discard all your cards, lose all your treasures. All right, anyways, yeah, Homesickness. Apologies, that just slipped. So, like, Boros with blue and black? Okay. Oh, sure. That only dealt 4 damage, though. Yeah, that's why this card doesn't look that great. Like, you want it to, like, kill a small creature and draw a card for 5 mana. It's like, it's a lot of hoops. A lot of hoops. All right, well, we had them dead this turn, so there you go. 1-0 with our, you know, I'm going to say our budget Izzet deck. This one, certainly not the ideal version of the deck, but you know what? We take it. We take the wins. We just want to play with the cards and see kind of what things look like. All right, playing against a very good limited player, Quiniac. Professional. I play against Quiniac a lot, randomly. All right, gonna keep this. Our hand is quite slow. Now, noting I can actually just cast this to, like, pitch my hand and then, like, draw a bunch of cards back and then use and then, like, kill stuff. So that is an option, especially if I can find a second spell. So, like, right now, the Steal the Show would deal 1 damage because I have an Artistic Process. But if I can find another spell and they have a 2-drop, like, I have to kill, you know, there's a world where I do it. Although, I don't really want to do it. All All right, black, white, joined researchers. Ooh, seize the spoils. Perfect. All right, so let's cast that. And let's discard Tackle Artist. Tackle Artist is probably one of the worst cards in my deck in general. Couldn't find a land here, so that's a little unfortunate. Do that. What is this? If an opponent has more cards in hand than you, this becomes prepared. Oh, and then they can draw cards, I guess. As far as like mana utilization, I think Stadium Tidal Mage makes the most sense, so I'm gonna play it. Let's draw a card and discard. Is it this card? I'm not really sure. I'm just discarding Prismari Charm. Like, I think what they should do is just like use like a removal spell here. Bitter Triumph. They discarded a card too. Wow. Whenever you cast an instant sorcery that targets a creature. Oh, okay. That includes my stuff. Got it. All right, here's my Seething Song creature. All right. So here we're gonna deal 3 damage to the Debater with the Vibrant Outburst, and then tap down the Joined Researchers. And if they don't kill this, then we can Seething Song and try to play out a bunch of stuff. That'll give us access to 6 mana, I suppose. Oh, wait, hold on. That's actually terrible. That's actually terrible. I need to do it the other... Yeah, hold on. Let's deal 3 here and tap here. Yeah. Oh. Well, it looks like they had nothing. But the important thing is if they cast a spell in response, it would save this thing. Okay, 3/3 flyer. That's good. All right, so I suppose it's time to cast Seething Song. How many spells in our yard? 1, 2, 3. I can Seething Song and then kill the flyer with Steal the Show. Or maybe I killed this thing because my flyer blocks their flyer. Let's just kill the flyer. All right, now what? We have an artistic process, which is if I can get to another land, I can use that to just kill the Debater if I like. If they attack me, I should probably just block and just hope they don't have like a removal spell or like an instant speed removal spell. If they do, it's obviously not great. Now, of course, they can also just kill the mascot and hit me for 4. That's also on the table. Blade Laureate. Yeah, well, that's a lethal attack. I got to block. Yep. All right, so we found Quick Study. Yeah, so this is not good. Huh. I think I need the mana, so I'm going to discard. I'm going to do it this way. I don't love to do it this way, but like I said, I think I need the mana. Yeah. Yeah, you know, really could have used that fifth land, I will say. Honor-bound page, you can give something. Yep. Block here. Interjection. Yeah, that's a blowout. All right. GG's. Yeah. Good proactive strategy. Quiniac always loves to beat down. One of the few players that will consistently register mono red. If mono red's good or bad, doesn't matter. He will be probably one of the best mono red players in the field. All right, playing against El Gran. This might be Javier Dominguez. I actually don't remember. Is this Javier Dominguez? This is Mingucci. I don't know. All right, 2 islands. I'm gonna mulligan. We'll keep this. And I actually don't think this Seething Song creature is good. So I put it in my deck, but I don't actually think it's good. All right, let's go ahead and play Flow State here and just get a land. Blue-red, another blue-red gamer. Seize the spoils. Let's discard the other Seize the spoils. Okay. So now we got 3 spells in our graveyard, which is great for the Steal the Show. But I'm just going to go with the Stadium Title Mage here instead. All right, they also have season. Okay, we're both doing things. Looks like they have a way to kill this thing, or they're looking to kill it. The more I look at this card, the more like this card just seems kind of mediocre. Yeah. Like it's a lot of work to like turn this into like a removal spell sometimes, you know? When this enters middle card, you may play that card this turn. And then it's like a mana rock. Rubble Rouser. Is that a treasure? Yeah. 3 mana for a 1/4. When this enters, you can rummage. So they chose not to play it, which is interesting. Maybe they have the white removal spell. Run behind. Sure. Okay. I mean, I'll put it on top and I'll redraw it, I guess. Okay. Didn't play a land that turn, but we did rummage this land away. Or loot this land away. There's the Prismari. There is the Prismari. How many spells do we have? 3? So, like, nowhere near enough. Four. Your instants and sorcery spells you cast have Storm. Oh, there's no way that can go wrong. All right, well, let's play Mika, and I mean, we can theoretically copy the Steal the Show. We have 4 spells in our graveyard. We try to get this Prismari off the battlefield. All right, so now this is a big turn. This is a big... Oh, this also taps 2 mana for instants and sorceries. I will say the blue-red deck does not necessarily feel streamlined. It feels kind of dirtily. At least, you know, with what I'm doing with, like casting just Seize the Spoils cannot be like a winning line a lot of the time. You know what I mean? All right, what is this card? 3 mana for 2/3 Flash Flying Vigilance. All aboard. Exile target non-pilot creature you control, then return that card to the battlefield under its owner's control. So now they're God. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, that was sweet. I mean, look, I'll give them credit. That was certainly super sweet. So, we have 4 spells in the graveyard. I can kill this thing. Also, this has been kind of underwhelming. Like 5 mana for a 2/2 to draw. Like, it's fine. It is kind of slow. I mean, it's still not terrible. All right, well, let's play this thing and hope like my opponent doesn't have anything to do with the 3 cards that they have in hand. Oh my gosh. Oh, this is so fun. This is so fun. I want to do it so badly. Okay. I'm gonna do the thing here. Oh my gosh, and they had mana drain. Oh. Oh, this deck is awesome. This is like the deck I wanted to draft. Oh man, this is great. All right, well, you know what I'm gonna do? You know, oh my gosh, I just got Storm Tome Blasted for 5. Oh, this is great. Good game. That's amazing. All right, I think I'm gonna add an 18th land to this deck. I have enough like random garbage filler that I think I can pull that off. Let's see here. Let's just make an even mix and cut. I think this card is pretty bad. So. All right, we are 1 and 2. Hopefully we don't get totally embarrassed here and go 1 and 3. But honestly, with our deck, kind of deserve it. Kind of deserve it. You know? Well, what it? Okay. We're just playing the gauntlet here. Now we're playing just Lola. He's probably on like some kind of like Quandrix nonsense. All right, well, we just mulliganed, and I don't feel like mulliganing again, so I'm gonna keep this. Like turn 2 Mage Town Referee with 2 multicolored cards is pretty nice. I'll put Homesickness on the bottom, and then I will try it. And we added a land, so hopefully we can just find a land here. Perfect. All right. Oh, never mind. On blue-red and has a Sanar. All right. I have so many things that can kill that thing. Look at that. It's like, is he bluffing me? Because it's, you know, obviously, like, this is a free attack, so. If he blocks, I can Prismari Charm it. Could pump my Mage Town Referee. Yeah. Obviously, playing the Sanar post-combat makes things very sus. Right? Like, he's like, okay, well, clearly you had something there. Maybe. That card is so good. Impractical Joke. Like, constructed level. Okay. All right, so we're just playing against, like, actual good Izzet decks. And you know what? I don't love it. Ward 1 haste. Yeah, it's +1/+1 to end of turn. If 5 or more mana was spent to cast a spell, create a token that's a copy of this creature. Okay, well, let's kill it. All right. Make a treasure off of that thing. Ancestral Anger, that's a cool one, sure. I don't remember, like, I don't actually know how good this is, but like maybe in a blue-red spells deck, like you got to keep your curve low, and this just puts a bunch of spells in your graveyard. That's nice. Elemental Mascot is the play now from the opponent. Not a great turn here for us. I think I'm just going to Surveil too. And certainly don't want this. Yeah, I'll keep the Orisa. I'm doing this main phase. Oh, actually, I could have done this at any time, but like just to have a little more information. Like if I can play something this turn, I certainly would. I just can't right now. So. Three cards in hand with a Wild Idea. That's a sorcery speed effect. So. But noting that if they do cast a Wild Idea, then they get value off of the Elemental Mascot. So that's a very, very nice combination. I do have Mika plus Sanar, which is pretty nice. Also, this version of Sanar is way worse than the one that we had in Lower and Eclipsed. The Lower and Eclipsed one was busted, though. This should have been like an instant at least. For a rare. I don't know. Molten Core. He just keeps playing rares. What does this one do? 2 mana, 2/2 menace. When you cast an instant sorcery, put a counter on this. If 5 or oh yeah, I've seen this one. It's a good one. And this one makes 2 tokens. I mean, they're both very, very good. So I don't really know what to do. I think the play is to just play Mika. Oh, wait, hold on. Is there a way I can do this? I have 2 cards in my grave. Can I play Steal the Show and then make a treasure? And then copy it? And then try to kill, like, both of these? I will try. Yes. Hey, we did a cool thing. Now, we're still like super duper dead. Actually, yeah. So we at least got rid of like 2 problematic creatures, right? Now, he still has 2 cards in hand and has access to Wild Idea here with the Elemental Mascot trigger. And so now they're going to get a Thunderdrum Soloist. Now, this is a card that I didn't take. Maybe I should have. But, hey, at least we got to do something cool with the Mika. So now next turn, we have a couple of options. We can go Wild Idea. Embrace the Paradox is what they got? Okay. Yeah, I mean, maybe I'm supposed to play the Blue-Green X spell. I don't know. All right, Seize the Spoils, Wild Idea as options. Being able to copy these spells is pretty good. I wonder if I should seize the spoils and copy it. Or do I just copy? I'll just copy Wild Idea. All right. What do they have? I mean, certainly like a removal spell makes sense. And then flow state's pretty good. Let's go do that too. All right. So this is the combo that we discovered. Sanar plus Mika or Micah. Really, really nice together. Thunderdrum Soloist. Now we're going to take a fair amount of damage here because they have this Embrace the Paradox. It feels like they might have also been struggling for some number of playables. Like, I guess this card's fine. I don't know if it's worth splashing though. All right. All right. What do I want to do? I mean, I feel like there's just like a lot I can do. I can make 2 flying hasters. I can also just like kill these things. I think I should probably just kill like the annoying creatures. Oh no! Stupid! Ah, I need it to full control. So dumb. That's so dumb. Ugh. Yeah, I needed to full control there. That's really annoying. It doesn't give me the opportunity to activate my Sanar with the ability on the stack. So look, you know, honestly, I consider that actually a win here. Like, you have to think about it this way. It's like, I make the mistakes now, so now you know moving forward that that's what you need to do, right? So I thought it was just going to give me the priority there, but it did not. Perhaps I have a setting on this computer that is different, but yeah, that's obviously terrible. Oh well. You live and you learn. But obviously just killing us extra soloist would have been really, really nice. Oh. Okay. I will say, this feels like a pretty complicated format. There's just so much to keep track of. Opus, increment, like your treasures. There's so many things to map out. It is not easy. What do you do? When you next cast an instant or sorcery, you may copy that spell. Okay. We found Murmuring Mystic. That is a cool one for sure. This time I have a treasure, so I can just sack this one and copy it, I guess. All right. I'll take this and this. Take this and this. Make a treasure. Play Island. Play this card. I'm probably dead next turn, but at least we got to take a lot of game actions, all right? We got to at least do that. This is a 4/4 flyer for 5 with upside? Damn. I'm trying to get my opponent's life total low here, and like obviously if I die, I die. But like, basically, I'm trying to lean on this like homesickness to try to close out the game next turn. But given the fact that they can copy a spell and they have the soloist and I'm at 8 life, I think there's a good chance that they're going to be able to get me because I only have the 1 flyer back to block. Yeah, so I mean, again, not having the not killing the soloist when I could have, or the mascot even, either or, will end up being quite bad. Now, I mean, there is a world where they just have no interaction, but that seems super unlikely. Lolo's not somebody who takes, you know, very little interaction. You know what I mean? All right, well, let's block. Oh, we only took 1. Elemental mascot, okay. What the hell is this card? 7/7 reach when it attacks. You may cast target instant or sorcery from your graveyard without paying its if. Okay. All right. Well, so I don't have lethal, which is the problem. I have almost lethal. I blocked there, but I can lock down all their stuff. A full control. Six mana. Target me. Target you, target you. Hold on. Target me. Target this and target this. Okay. And then probably these two. Wait, what is this targeting? Those two? Yeah. Okay. Okay. Oh, man. Okay. Get to draw some cards. Draw some cards. That's unfortunate. But they can just cast like infinite stuff next turn and we're probably dead. Man. That's a shame. A true shame. All right, well, kept up to hexproof, unsurprisingly. I think one of these cards gives trample. Oh, it only casts 1 card. Okay. Okay. Maybe I have a chance. Oh, no. This burns me out, too. Yeah. I guess I needed to tap this one down. I don't know. I don't see myself actually winning this game. Or I don't think I would have won this game. So, yeah, it is what it is. All right. Well, the hexproof card got me. But you know what? It was a nice epic game. GG's. He had a cool brew. And he got me. All right. Look. And like I said, we certainly didn't have the ideal version of the blue-red decks. If you want better blue-red decks, look at what my opponents were trying to do. But you know what? It's still a good learning moment. Now, I don't have the luxury of just like drafting another time to showcase something cooler, but we put together something that was okay. You at least got to see the bare bones of what the deck's trying to do. We'll note it's the deck, even based off of what I saw my opponents do, there were some cool turns. It still feels kind of dirtily. So I don't know what the speed of the format is, but for example, like a good streamlined black-white deck, it feels like it would do pretty well against what I've seen so far from the blue-red decks, right? It's just like it's got you got some good top end stuff here, but do you have the tools to survive in the early game? And obviously, I am only like 2 drafts in. We shall see. If it does have the tools, the late game stuff is pretty impressive. So let's kind of take a look at what worked and what didn't. Well, the harmonized trio in this deck was just bad. Like, you just want a deck with more creatures. So perhaps it's just not even a card that's that great in blue-red specifically, because I think the blue-red deck wants to play like a heavy number of spells. So I think this is probably better in like a blue-green deck where you just have access to a lot more creatures. It was really impressive in yesterday's video. Moving on here, Sanar was very impressive. Really, really good card in the blue-red decks. Just the power level wise, it's like almost like it just gives you a treasure every turn in the good blue-red deck. So that was very nice. Elemental Mascot seems really solid. This is probably like the 3-mana creature of choice that you want in these types of decks. You can peck away at their life total, but at the same time in the late game, every now and then you can occasionally get card advantage. The 4-mana slot's a little bit weird. Like, we had some uncommons. Mika was really cool with Sanar. Murmuring Mystic's obviously solid if you can get it going. And I think Tidal Mage is kind of what you want in the 4-mana slot. You don't have to take it super highly, but it just seems like a solid creature. 4 mana for a 4/4 that loots every turn just seems like a decent card on a rate, right? Moving on, you never want to play Rearing Embermare, so this was a miss. And Orisa was also a card. I mean, I guess like in an ideal blue-red deck, you have like more elemental mascots and stuff. And if you do, then maybe you can get this going. It's fine, but I don't know that you have to take this one as highly as well. Prismari was super cool. Shout out to El Gran Boa, who was able to go nuts with this card. So I think this is definitely worthwhile to take and try to set up. Very, very good card. As far as the spells go, Flow State surprisingly got us value a good amount of the time. I still don't know that I'm going to take this like super duper highly. Like, I don't think this is as powerful as Accumulate Wisdom, for example, in Avatar: The Last Airbender, but I think it's always fine. Blue-red has no shortage of ways to find cards. You have Quick Study and Seize the Spoils. Now, you have to be careful with like how many of these types of effects you play, but just know that you don't have to prioritize them because you have access to Quick Study and Seize the Spoils. At Uncommon, you have Flow State. There was a Deduce that we saw. So lots of different ways to like filter through your cards so you don't have to take them super highly. Steal the Show was like all right in the deck games that I played it. Certainly not the power level of what you would expect from a specific rare. So just know that this is a card that you generally want to play in a blue-red deck. It will deal some amount of damage, anywhere from like 2 to 5 damage. If you can get it up to 5 damage, that's fine, but I predict that this is not going to have like a great win rate just because it takes some setup and you can't just fire this off turn 3 to kill something. And for that reason, like, I just don't think this card is that strong, but of course I wanted to play with it to see it. Artistic Prowess, this is a really flexible card. Power level wise, like, I think they got it just right. But I don't think it's anything special. I think it's like a C, maybe C+ level card, but I think this is one of those cards that probably looks much better than it plays out in practice, especially when you forget to copy it with the Mika. Then we have Muse's Encouragement, a filler level card, and then we have, this is me doing a mini set review of my deck, okay? And then we have Homesickness, which I think is decent. I mean, if you can find a way to like ramp into this, it can be okay. But you have to be very careful with how many effects like this you end up with in your deck, right? It's just an expensive card. You want like one. Right, so which means what I'm saying when I say that is, I don't think you take this very highly. If you end up with one and it's your only expensive card, sure. But the problem is, if you take this early over something like a cheap removal spell, and then later in the draft, right, you see a late Homesickness, and it's the only playable card. Are you gonna play 2 Homesicknesses? Maybe. That's a lot, right? And so you have less flexibility in the way that your draft goes. Whereas, let's say you took the cheaper spell instead, and then you don't have anything expensive, and then like, later on, pack 3, you see this kind of late. then you're happy to just like pick this one up and put one in your deck. So just keep that in mind for some of these expensive cards. But all in all, look, I wanted to draft blue-red, so I did. Did we have the ideal version of it? No. Can ideal versions of this deck be good? Absolutely. And we will certainly figure that out as we continue our way exploring this format. So like I said, this is going to be probably my final video for the early access stuff. And then once the actual set comes out on Tuesday, I'm going to go super duper hard. I'm already spending more time than I'd like while I'm visiting my dad and my sister. So, you know, we've spent about 3 hours here making these videos. I'm going to take this, I'm going to put it onto my hard drive, I'm going to upload it onto my home computer, and then I'm going to edit it and then post it for all of you, just because I wanted to put something out the door for all of you to kind of chew on over this weekend while you play in your pre-release. And then hopefully we can really go nuts once the set actually comes out. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, as I really do appreciate it. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button for more daily videos just like this. If you've enjoyed this content and wanted to support the channel in another way, my Patreon is the best way to do so. That's patreon.com/paulcheon. Also check out TCGplayer.com for all your Magic the Gathering singles and sealed product needs. If you're in the market to buy some booster boxes of Strixhaven, or you wanted some singles for your standard, modern, or commander decks, check out TCGplayer.com and make sure you hit that affiliate link in the description below before making any purchases. Also go to heavyplay.com for premium Magic the Gathering supplies and accessories. If you want top-of-the-line deck boxes, playmats, sleeves, dice boxes, everything to make sure you're fully ready to go for your next tabletop gaming experience, go to heavyplay.com/paulcheon to get 10% off your first order. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.